What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Sunday, May 18th, 2025, and we are standing here at the Polderbaan. Polderbaan was in use for arrivals earlier in the morning, just like how they did yesterday, but right now the runway is going to be used for departures again, as before, with wind blowing from the northwest today, just like it has been for a couple of weeks now. You can see a new radome installed on the main tower, and the first airplanes ready to depart from this runway are approaching. The pack being led by United, and two more airplanes are immediately behind it. There's a bunch coming, so sit back and relax. It promises to become another beautiful stream here today. Weather-wise, we had overcast conditions initially this morning, then it broke open, and now it is partially open, partially clouded again. This is looking to the south, and this is looking to the west. Looking to the east, things look like so. Looking to the north, things look like this. The grass has grown significantly since last time I visited here. Pretty soon I'm going to need a big knife to chop away the reeds, or use stairs so that I can place my tripod a bit higher to film over all the grass. A very warm welcome to everybody who has joined already. Marja, goedenavond. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all others who might have joined wherever you may be in the world. Klaas, goedemorgen. Eddie, good morning. Ravenraw, good morning. Swissport Worker, good morning. Decantour, Sheila, good morning. Marianne, goedemorgen. Normal Aviation, goedemorgen. Cheaters Lane is already being used this morning. Britty Hopper, Eastern Airways, flying on behalf of KLM, flight 963. It's parallel departures, by the way. So the center runway is also being used. Basically the same runway configuration that we've been having now for a couple of weeks on end now. It's an Embraer 170 going to Teesside/Darlington, flying under the moniker of KLM, flight 963. The 777-200 that is now lining up behind it on the threshold will be going to Newark. Alright, how about gear up? Yeah, there we go. Just for a brief second, I thought, was the first airplane already going to have issues? Looks like it isn't. Status quo in the water. For those of you wondering, no aquatic birds in the immediate vicinity over here. The grass seems to have been mown over here on the other side of the water. I do think... yeah... Donald is napping over there. The firefighters already did their round, for those of you wondering. Jaap, goedemorgen. Paul, good morning. Redison wife, good morning. Han, goedemorgen. Redison guy, goedemorgen. Good morning. Jorik, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. René, goedemorgen. QJ, goedemorgen. Joshua, goedemorgen. Good morning. Peter, goedemorgen. Happy Sunday, everybody. United flight 71, 777-200 going to Newark. November 791 Uniform Alpha. First flight August 1997, makes it 27 years old still. Adi Dirk, goedemorgen. Adi, goedemorgen. Victor, goedemorgen, good morning. Tom, goedemorgen. Right, our friendly neighborhood police passed by me just now over here in the fields, and I think they might be growing. Well, no, they're not growing potatoes there, are they? Don't think they are. Maybe sugar beets? I'm not sure. It's getting more green, particularly in the seeming troughs, the apparent troughs. Russell and his mates are over there. Apparently something to be had over there. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke. Looks like so. Interesting how there's light at the horizon, but everything in the foreground looks to be shitty. Very dramatic backdrop. And the next airplane is already coming this way. And this is KLM flight 937 to Glasgow. 737-800. And there's one, maybe even two airplanes already in Cheater's Lane. So, not exactly sure about the order of departure. Looks like there is an Embraer 190 lined up right now. Dukman, good morning, mate. Welcome back. Servus, Wolfgang. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Yeah, we have an airplane lined up, and the cheater is holding short. So I think we have our answer as to which airplane is going to leave first. Patrick, goedemorgen. Leo, goedemorgen. Sadi, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Kenneth Chef Chris, good morning, mate. Happy Sunday to you all. Hope everybody is doing well. If all is well, there should be a Suriname A340 leaving between 10 and 11. I thought the scheduled time of departure was 10:20, but that the estimated time of departure was 10:37. And if I looked in the departures list properly, there are two 747s from Cargolux which will be flying to Luxembourg later in the morning. Phone got stuck behind my collar. I like to stand close to my camera so that I can properly see everything in detail, but also need to be careful not to stand too close to everything, because otherwise things can hook. Donald is awake and he is having a morning wash. And it is not just Donald, but Daisy too. And a mate. Runway 06 is being used for arrivals, as you guys can see in the background. And this is KLM flight 1199 to Oslo, A737-800. And Orange Pride departing from center. What time will it leave? Good morning, Eversteria. Good morning, Karsten. Goedemorgen, Cor. Afgeek Boy, goedemorgen. Good morning. Paul, goedemorgen. Fidel Castro is over here. He was really close by. Let's see if he holds short again somewhere here in the vicinity. Yes. Perfect. Check it out. What a beautiful bird. Whoa. Come on, mate. Ah, such a shame. Ritzy Hopper in the meantime departed from Cheater's Lane. This is Delta Airlines flight 71 going to Atlanta, Georgia, A330-300. the November 8 to 7 November whiskey. The airplane is 9 years old, first flight April 2016. Estimated time of departure Orange Pride 10:25, so that's in just over half an hour from now. Right, well, keep me posted once it is lined up. And first to leave. I'm sure we will be able to see it quite well from over here. Particularly if it is going to stay a bit cloudy, because then we won't be bothered by backlight by the sun. Good morning, JD. It's me, Mike. Good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. There was a bit of sunshine. Enjoy it while it lasts if you live in the Netherlands, because there's never a certainty that it's going to be around for a long period of time. Case in point, here today. This is KLM flight 1151, which will be leaving for Trondheim. Embraer 190. PHEZY, Fizzy come, Fizzy go. 11 years old, first flight October 2013. Good morning, Maria. Right, let's see, there are two more narrow bodies parked behind this airplane, now leaving. The next two arrivals here are wide bodies. It looks like one of them is an A350, is that so? Yeah, it is. Delta Airlines flight 133 and KLM flight 713. 777 from KLM to Paramaribo, A350 to Detroit. Klaus asks about the temperature, which makes me suspect that you don't know how to read the METAR yet. Let me take you through it. These are just narrow bodies taking off, because the temperature is always displayed in the ticker. If I renew the ticker, and I'll take you through it, the METAR is the weather report being updated twice an hour, and it is very informative if you know what it says. METAR EHAM. EHAM is the abbreviation of Schiphol Airport, then the date and time of the report. It's the 18th today. The report is from 6:55 Zulu time, that's 8:55 Central European time, so that is a bit late. The wind, first of all, from 310 degrees, 6 knots, and the wind direction is variable between 280 and 340 degrees. 9999 means 10 kilometers of visibility or more. Then clouds, few clouds at 1,600 feet, scattered clouds at 2,300 feet. Then the temperature, 13 degrees is the temperature, and the dew point is 9 degrees Celsius. The air pressure is 1,017 hectopascals. No SIG means no significant changes expected in the upcoming 2 hours. So you can always look in the ticker to see what the current temperature is over here, provided I update the METAR, of course. But you can be rest assured that if the METAR from an hour ago says 13 degrees, that it hasn't changed significantly from that. Michael Jackson, good morning. Dans, good morning. And thank you, Dirk. Well, for me it feels okay because I'm wearing a parka and under that a t-shirt. So I'm hoping it's going to stay a little bit cool because otherwise I am underdressed. Overdressed? Overdressed. If things stay the way they are now, I'm perfectly comfortable. Alamin, good morning. Ed, good morning. Fritz, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Oh, church bells are ringing. I think we need to stop with the stream and go to the church now. Otherwise God is going to get angry. And maybe he'll send Jesus over to punish us. This is KLM flight 1293 to Billund, a 737-700. And after this, the first A350 of the show, Delta Airlines flight 133, which will be leaving for Detroit, Michigan. Margot, goedemorgen. Kenzo, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. Good morning. 15 degrees in Grimsby, Ontario. Well, similar temperatures over here. Mitar says 13. I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed significantly. For a brief moment it felt a bit warmer when the sun was more out, but that was only a brief moment. Now it's back to being overcast more or less. Only here and there do I see a small bit of blue in between all the cloudiness, so it was a short-lived opening of the skies here. This is Delta Airlines, flight 133 to Detroit, A350, November 514 Delta November. David in the house. Goedemorgen, John. On its way, 5 years old already. First flight March 2020. Next up, KLM 777-300 going to Paramaribo. I'm looking forward to see the other airplane that is also leaving for Paramaribo this morning, the A340-600 Suriname Airways, operated by USC. Should be coming within the hour. Thought that the scheduled time of departure was 10:20 a.m. and its estimated time of departure was 10:37, at least when I checked this morning. This is KLM flight 713 to Paramaribo in Suriname. 777-300 the PHB VP, Bravo Victor Papa. And according to flight radar, already a vertical speed of plus 64 feet per minute. Apparently there's a gradient, an upward gradient to the north in the tarmac of the Polerbaan. Or maybe just... Of course, that's just a hiccup in flight radar. Hey there, Nancy, good morning. Stranger, good morning. Zikasar, good morning. Good morning, all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. For a brief moment we had some openings in the sky, but now looking around, even the small patches of blue seem to have closed and it's a continuous blanket of cloudiness, although it does look to be more open when looking at the eastern horizon. This is looking to the east. So yeah, we'll see what will happen later in the day. It was said that it was going to get more sunny again as the day progressed, as it has been the case last couple of days that I've been streaming. We always began the stream this week with more cloudiness and ended up with more sunshine than we began with. There's a new radome installed. Probably happened either yesterday afternoon or overnight or something. So yeah, the dimpled golf ball, now a smooth golf ball, but the tee once again has a golf ball on it, so let's tee off. This is an Embraer 190 lined up, KLM, flight 913, destination is Aberdeen in Scotland, and after that an E2 Embraer 195 will leave, destined to go to Birmingham. And after that, KLM with a 737-900 to bloody Helsinki in Finland. Wind has begun to pick up a little bit compared with when I began the stream here and was setting up prior to that. There also seems to be a bit more horizontality in the scale of chimney smoke, so let's have a quick go and look at the METAR, see what has changed, because I'm sure that the METAR has updated in the meantime. This is the METAR that I have pasted in the ticker, and a refresh of the page says that it is still 13 degrees, but the wind, 6 knots, okay, not that bad. The wind is northeast with a variation between north and east, few clouds at 1800 feet. But a bit higher than that, there's a continuous cloud deck, as you guys can clearly see. Let me paste the ticker, the METAR in the ticker. I always have to adjust the font color and type. Click, click, and there we go. Hadi Ricardo, goedemorgen, good to see you again, mate. Welcome back, and welcome to all others who have joined. Chris Coot is also here. Chris Coot is also here. And so too is Bird Control. This is KLM flight 1043 on the left, going to Birmingham. E2 Embraer 195, as you all can see. Registration Papa Hotel, November X-Ray Hotel. 3-year-old specimen, first flight was in February 2022. Good morning, Melix. And all others who might have joined in the meantime. Michael, goedemorgen. The wave to the driver in K2. Michael asks, are you always only looking at the parts or also when they arrived? You're probably not a regular viewer then, are you? Yesterday I filmed arrivals, the day before yesterday I filmed departures, and on Thursday I filmed arrivals again. Maybe you should look in the library of live streams and see what you find there. Nick's Aviation, good morning. Goedemorgen. Learning Dutch, watching from Harlow, England. Goedemorgen en hartelijk welkom, Nick. Although I think learning Dutch is easier if you also use something like Duolingo in addition to just watching the streams. Could also be an interesting angle. The Dutch word of the day. Learn Dutch by watching AMS Live. For a moment it sounded like Kermit was also here. I'm not sure if he is. Yeah. Kermit is definitely here. Donald is walking back to Daisy. Paddy, goedemorgen, herzlich willkommen. Christopher, good morning. Danny, goeiemorgens. Goeiemorgens deze morgen. Let's see, what is in the pipeline? Visualization of the pipeline. KLM Flight 1269 to Copenhagen is now coming first. And... yeah. KLM Embraer 175 to Christiansand should be next. Should be approaching from the taxiway, yeah, next to center, there. There's a Dreamliner over there as well, which looks... is that in the new livery already? It does look like it, doesn't it? Wolfgang asks, bird of the day, bird control in Dutch. Not sure what that is. Vogelverschrikker? No, that's a scarecrow. Here at Schiphol, the bird control nickname is Kievit, but that's just a type of bird. And that's also why the vehicles are always visible as KV on flight radar. It's also why the vehicles are K1 through 5. With the exception of H1, the bird control van. Not exactly sure what would be a proper word for bird control. But plenty of Dutchies watching, so please chime in. Karsten, goedemorgen. Herzlich willkommen. Dutch Aviation Guy, goedemorgen. Ryan, good morning. Leo, good morning. Vogelwacht, that's a nice word, QJ. I think I like that. Vogelwacht. Een vogelverschrikker is scarecrow. Vogelcontrole. Right. Well, as those of you who are awake have probably gathered, vogel, V-O-G-E-L, is the Dutch word for bird. Question now is it control? Beheer? Beheer is management. But you can also use control. Dutch Aviator, goedemorgen. Petrikov, good morning. Gabor, goedemorgen, good morning. Vogelpatrouille, zegt Peter. Bird Patrol. Hoe gaat het? Indeed, Nix Aviation. That's how are you? Hoe gaat het? Hoe gaat het met jou? With you? How are you? Not necessarily necessary. Bit more formal. Hoe gaat het met jou? In daily speech you would say, alles goed? Is all well? Hoe gaat het? Younger people might also just refer to English and say, what's up? Or fakka. That's more street language. Tina, goedemorgen. Frank, goedemorgen. Indeed, not only the night watch in the Rijksmuseum, but the bird watch here at Schiphol. Nout, goedemorgen. Embraer 175 on the way to Christiansand. Good, so once again being nasty to one another. They're just not friendly. Not to one another, not to other types of birds. Very territorial. I think it was Jeff who said all coots are bastards, and I think he might be right the more I see them and observe them. That was KLM flight 901 to Inverness in Scotland. Let's see what else is underway. I'm seeing a few wide bodies on the main platform that have come alive, but that still either only have just now been pushed back or still need to be pushed back. Then they need to taxi this way. They have to go around the northern or the southern threshold of the center runway to get here. So the wide bodies are coming, but it will take a few more minutes. Delta, TUI. Definitely more coming. Alrighty, KLM flight 901 to Inverness in Scotland. Embraer 190 PHEZV. This particular specimen is 13 years old, hailing from 2012, month not specified on flight radar. René, goedemorgen. And she's light. Parallel departures in progress. Hans' favorite. Yeah, it does look like that dot is still in place there, isn't it? Doesn't it? Hey, Bill J, also back in the chat. JW Slijm, goedemorgen. So yeah, looking to the southeast, it looks a bit dark. Same to the southwest, a bit more open. West, a bit more open, but still overcast. At the horizon to the east, it now looks to be most open. Northeast looks like this. Straight to the north, it looks like so, and this is northwest. Another E2 Embraer 195. Next airplane to arrive is a 737 to Göteborg. Delta Airlines A350 is turning to the south to go around the southern threshold of the center runway to come this way. Wondering if we can maybe see a glimpse of it. I don't think that we can. No, it has already turned to the south. Good morning, Mrs. Professor. And Lionel, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at Polderbaan. Runway 36 left. Primary runway for departures. Secondary runway is the center runway. Ah, I was wrong. I thought... So we're looking further to the south than I thought we were from this vantage point. This is Delta Airlines flight 161, which will be coming this way, but first has to traverse around the center runway. It will first taxi all the way to the southern threshold, then go around it to the west, and then back up again towards the entrance to the Polderbaan area. So it's going to take a few more minutes. It's a very early visualization of the pipeline of airplanes that will be leaving from this runway. So only briefly did we see the sunshine over here. Now once again, cloudiness all over. The wind today is blowing from the northwest, and that is over there. With the wind being variable between north and west. Looking in the direction the wind is blowing from, it doesn't look like any more openness is coming this way anytime soon. I do happen to see that there's also some aquatic bird movement in the water to the north. That's Donald and Daisy going for a swim. Russell is over there in the grass. Cheryl has sought higher ground and is overlooking everything from there. And Chris Coot is sitting over there. Relaxing. Jay is also back. Louis is also back. Good morning, guys. Mike S, goedemorgen. Bill J asks, did you capture the 777 returning after that bird strike? I did. It returned to 36 center and it passed overhead. Not much to see. They shut down the engine. Although we weren't able to see the touchdown, it didn't seem like anything was out of the ordinary. No outward damage was apparent. They also reserved 36 right, which was nice for us because it meant that the A380 also landed on 06 eventually. It got assigned to the runway that it wasn't supposed to land on given its arrival after 1 p.m. So that was a lucky break for us there. Now we have to wait a bit further for traffic coming this way. Aer Lingus is underway already. It has already crossed the southern threshold. Delta Airlines, the A350, is doing the same as we speak. Air Baltic is following. A KLM 777-200 to San Francisco is also doing the same. BA to London Heathrow is also coming this way. And it looks like another Delta A350 has popped up on the platform. Where was Chris? More to the right, yeah. Cheryl was watching. I don't think she's watching anymore. She's no longer sitting on the light mast over here. The light masts are all free of Crow Crew members. Although, no. They're now sitting on the pipes, which apparently, I suspect, are a bit heated. KLM 737 taking off from center. Andy Q, morning. Just popping in to say hi. Hope to see you then later. EasyJet to Malaga, A319, taking Cheaters Lane on the center runway, next to take off from the center runway. There it is. Beep beep. If all is well, Aer Lingus should be approaching. Shouldn't be too far again from going around the corner. Good morning, bear with me. Dag het niet. Goedemorgen. Afrodite, goedemorgen. Johan, goedemorgen. Chris, good morning. Hoe gaat het? GAT should be with double A. Double AT. G-double-A-T. Hoe gaat het? From the verb gaan. G-A-A-N. Going. So how's it going is hoe gaat het? G-double-A-T. Otherwise, perfectly written. En het gaat goed. Thank you. Yo, goedemorgen, good morning. And there's Aer Lingus with Delta Airlines Flight 161 to Minneapolis, Minnesota behind it. A350. Hadimat, goedemorgen. Dexter, goedemorgen, good morning. So yeah, the verb is gaan, G-A-A-N, going. Ik ga, that's G-A. Jij gaat, G-A-A-T, you go. Hij, zij, het, he, she, it, goes, gaat, G-A-A-T, just the same. We go, wij gaan, G-A-A-N. Jullie gaan, you go, you guys go, plural. That's also G-A-A-N. Zij gaan, they go. Same, G-A-A-N. E2 Embraer to Geneva has taken off from center. And this is Delta Airlines Flight 161 with in its wake an Air Baltic Bombardier C-Series 300 A220. Yep, he went. Hij ging, G-I-N-G. Try pronouncing that if you're not Dutch. Ging. So yeah, for those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Arrivals of departing airplanes is what we're now looking at here at the Polderbaan. Donald and Daisy, in the meantime, have returned from their morning swim to the north. Going back to their nest. Daisy looks pretty. Donald also looks like the man. Gotta love that green-blue hue of his feathers, of his head and neck. Absolutely lovely. We have one airplane that has arrived on the scene over here and is going to leave from this runway pretty soon. Aer Lingus to Dublin. Mieke, goedemorgen. Good morning. Martin, goedemorgen. Thanks for the kind words, mate. Aer Lingus flight 603 to Dublin, Ireland is what we are looking at. About to line up here at the threshold. It's the Idel. But she's not idling. She will be leaving, going to Dublin, Ireland, where this airplane is registered. The airplane, 20 years old, first flight was in March 2005. And it seems that we have crossed through 200 likes. Thank you all so much for that. I'm happy to hear you guys are enjoying the show. I do my best. Glad it is appreciated. If you are enjoying the content and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. Particularly if you want to help promote this channel and its content to a wider audience for free. It's an easy way to help by liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Shamrock, flight 603 to Dublin, Ireland. Things look a bit more open to the east now. And I actually am spotting a bit of blue further to the northeast. Wind on paper is coming from the northwest though, and over there it doesn't look that clear, but who knows what might happen. Last couple of days, each time we began with a lot of cloudiness and things opened up. On some days a bit sooner than on others. Pendago, good morning. Nick's Aviation says, I might go to Amsterdam this year from Stansted with EasyJet. Nice, mate. When do you plan on coming, if you are going to come? Femke, goedemorgen. Hoi. Hey, Yazir, good morning. Bear with me says, can confirm plenty clear skies in the northeast. So yeah, in due course, improvements should be coming this way as well. Right, Air Baltic, over here, going to Tallinn. Bombardier C-Series 300, aka 8220. And this particular specimen is registered as Yankee Lima Alpha Bravo Mike, ABM. This particular airplane is 2 years old, first flight December 2022. Hey, thank you, Mrs. Professor. 31k subscribers. I think it happened yesterday. Nick's Aviation says maybe August. That's a good time of year. Come in the winter and it will be the same as in Stansted. But you will probably already knew that. Right, it is time for Delta Airlines Flight 161 to Minneapolis, Minnesota now to take off. It's the November 511 Delta November. This particular airplane is already 7 years old, first flight May 2018. Makes me wonder, when did the first A350-900 enter service and with which airliner was that? 7 years old is this specimen. How old are the oldest A350-900s still flying, and who took delivery of the very first? Oof, that's a lot of brake dust that left the wheels there. upon stopping the wheels from spinning. Hey there, Paul H. Good morning. And thank you, some Dutch guy, for your congratulations. Jacques, goedemorgen. Hans-Joseph, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Und vielen Dank für deine schöne Wörter. Thanks for the kind words. KLM flight 605 to San Francisco up next. Dan says that the first delivery of the A350-900 aircraft was to Qatar, with the first delivery variant also to Qatar. And when was it? Does it also say when it was? Now, in the meantime, a massive big thank you to Dukman, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Dukman, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Don't forget to say thank you if you are one of the recipients of Dukman's gifted memberships just now. Don't forget to use the 32 custom emojis that you have at your disposal now for an entire month. Also, don't forget to vote for the election, the third and final round, to determine which will become the 30-second custom emoji. And this is KLM Asia flying to San Francisco in the United States of Asia, a 777-200ER. The Bravo Quebec Hotel has left the building. The airplane is 20 years old. The first flight was in September 2004. What is this? Openness in the sky? What? December 2014, Dan says. So that means that the oldest A350-900 should be 11 years old already. Wow. Interesting. BA flight 429 to London Heathrow, A319. Now lined up, 24 years old, the GEUPR. EUPR on a British airplane? That's interesting. This airplane is 24 years old. First flight September 2000. Hey, the sun is about to start to shine here. What? "24-year-old airplane, first flight September 2000. EasyJet A319 to London Gatwick behind it. Infinity, goedemorgen. Frank asks, how do you pronounce Worcestershire sauce? Like so. The right way, of course. I learned from pronunciation manual on YouTube. It explains how you should pronounce difficult words. Bill J says the clouds. I was under the impression that the Netherlands has cloud repellent. No, that's the people in the Arab nations. They have cloud repellent. No, they invoke cloudiness. They have the opposite. We attract cloudiness for some reason. NJ, goedemorgen, good morning. Martino, goedemorgen. W, goedemorgen, good morning. W says Cargolax 747 landing at Kagwan in a few minutes. Donata Baggage asks if I will show LY337 1040. Well, remind me It should be taking off from the center runway by then. Or is it arriving? Is it an arrival? Let's see, wide bodies coming in. Delta Airlines flight 47 to New York, JFK first. And KLM flight 639 to San Diego after that. Air Baltic to Vilnius after that. And the tail of an A321neo to Person-Chester. Hey, Wolfgang, check it out, it's the Austrian livery. Air Baltic Austrian livery, beautiful. That beautiful Austrian flag. Yeah, as expected, the wide bodies are going to the threshold. Question is, will one of the narrow bodies take Cheater's lane? I suspect the Austrian flag might take Cheater's lane. And also a big thank you for your kind words, Chris, and for your support. Celebrating a month of membership. Thanks for this great stream. Boy, keep them up. We'll definitely do that, Chris. Thank you so much for your support and for your kind words, mate. Yeah, Air Austrian Baltic. Here we go. Going to Cheater's lane. Air Baltic in the Austrian flag livery. Flight 962 going to Vilnius. Registration Yankee Lima Alpha Bravo November, and we already had the Alpha Bravo Mike earlier. This is a 2-year-old airplane, first flight April 2023. Orange Pride taking off from center now. Right now? God damn it. That's unfortunate timing. Not right now, it's second. Please give me a heads up when it is lined up and is taking off immediately. I know that the Orange Pride is expected to take off. I also know that there are 747s expected to take off later, but it's only relevant if I need to point the camera to it right away, or almost right away. If it's still second, that is not very relevant for me to know. If it is lined up and is going to spool up in a matter of seconds, that is relevant. Time for an A321neo to Person-Chester. KLM flight 1031. First flight December 2024, really brand new. Right, things are opening up a little bit. This is looking to the south. Now looking to the west. Looking to the east. And looking to the north. More openness in all quadrants of the sky over here. This is Delta Airlines flight 47 going to New York, JFK. Alright, Orange Pride now next to take off from center. Thanks for the heads up, guys. Let's see. There it is. Right. That was the Orange Pride taking off from center. Let's see, next airplane to take off, Ryanair. Right, I'm pretty sure I saw something pass by in the chat. I'm unable to find the message. There we go. Chris Nichols just now gifting a membership. Mate, thank you so much for that. Not sure who was the recipient because I already had to filter through my chat to find this message to begin with. I'm pretty sure that there is a recipient who is thankful for your gifted membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, new member. And Chris, mate, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Don't forget, if you are a gifted member, you can also vote for the election to determine the final 30-second custom emoji for members. There are 2 contenders. The final poll runs until next week, Thursday. 2 contenders, the firefighters and Lufty. In the meantime, KLM Flight 741 is ready to go to Bogota. That's in Colombia, and that's right next to... Finally. It's a 78710, the PH BKF Bravo Kilo Foxtrot, and there are 3 more wide bodies back to back next to take off after this. Donald has found his slab of concrete once again. sitting high and mighty. In the brief moment of sunshine, how much longer we are going to see the sun remains to be seen. It's now at the end of an open patch, and there does seem to be a bit more cloudiness in the direction of the wind, although looking to the west and northwest there's definitely more openness. That's where the wind is coming from, so I'm expecting more sunshine in the upcoming hours. This is KLM flight 743 to Lima in Peru, 777-300 PHB VF. Right, Nick's Aviation has to go. Thanks for stopping by. Yo says, duck not showing up on Flight Radar 24. Maybe they're using jammers. That could be. Those ducks. Don't underestimate the level of technique that they have on board. They are modern vessels. This is KLM Flight 755 to Quito, and that is in fact, it is the capital. 777-200 PHBQD is the registration. That's Bravo Quebec Delta. The airplane is 21 years old, and the first flight of this airplane was in December 2003. Wolfgang says you have to ask the coots to trample the grass around you before it gets too high. Yeah, I already was indicating in the beginning of the show that next week I might have to bring a machete or something, because the grass is growing high so rapidly, despite the drought, because it hasn't rained in weeks. And well, maybe, I thought they said yesterday on the news, on the weather report, that maybe on Thursday and Friday we might get to see a few droplets. Also lower temperatures, so looks like the bout of spring-like weather is going to end at some point. Next up, KLM flight 777, and this is the FWOC. I say, what the FWOC? Are we going to get rain? Going to St. Maarten, A330-200. The particular airplane we're now looking at is 19 years old. Gear is almost in. The hatches now closed. First flight October 2005. Hadi Lise, goedemorgen. Jen Drossek, goedemorgen. James P. Sullivan, good morning. KLM flight 925 to Edinburgh. Up next, the PHB XC. 787-800. 25 years old, first flight July 1999. Right, so there's more than 700 viewers, 282 likes, 3 dislikes. Curious, why have people disliked the stream? What do they not like? Let's get some feedback. Are there any viewers who disliked still present? Or are they now gone? Just curious. There's people who would rather have seen arrivals. Or are there people here who just want to see planes and not see birds? Always interesting. Speak up if you are there. Now's your time to give some constructive feedback. This is Norwegian, flight 83539 to Copenhagen. That's a 737-800. And according to flight radar, it doesn't have anybody on the tail no longer. The SERPM, 8 years old, first flight September 2016. Our next airplane is KLM flight 1753 to Hamburg, a 737-700. The PHBGG Bravo Golf Golf, 16 years old, first flight March 2009. After that we are going to see a TUI Dreamliner to Curaçao, flight 376, 67. Oh, and we have the not the bird control, the Coast Guard passing by over there in their 39-year-old Canadian registered Dash 8-100. Yesterday we saw them leave as well. Thought they were going to make a turn towards the coast, but then they turned and went south towards what I would like to call the Lake District of Utrecht, Loosdrechtse Plassen and whatnot. Oh. Yeah, no, can't see the registration. It is Canadian registered still, interestingly. Right, a couple of deltas underway. I see a 777 to Johannesburg that is taxiing this way. Quite a few wide bodies seem to be coming this way, although they now still are either on the main platform area, and a couple are already on the west side of the center runway coming this way. Right. I tried to monitor the chat a little bit, but I haven't found any constructive criticism yet from the dislikers. Still curious what they think needs to be improved. Next up, TUI flight 367 going to Willemstad, Curaçao. It's a 787-8 Dreamliner. This particular airplane is 10 years old, first flight March 2015. Have a look at the wings. They're already upward, pointing a little bit. But watch how that angle gets more steep. I think it was discussed that the deflex was more than 16 feet, more than 5 meters. That's the drop upon landing when the spoilers go up. So in the whole acceleration process and then the rotation, these wingtips climb several meters. You can already see the angle of the wings is much more upward pointing than in the beginning, before it started to accelerate. The curvature starts to form when the airplane actually rotates and the whole weight of the airplane is being carried by the wings. But already upon acceleration you can already see that the wings go up. Beautiful to see. Greetings from behind. Hey man, goedemiddag. Of nee, morgen. Darth Cloud with the troller and the little one behind me. Hey, nice. Yeah, well, I'm not hard to find if you look for a big setup and a loud talking guy. Hard to miss.
I'm 70 kilometers from here.
Oh yeah, well, if you know where to find the parking, the rest is easy. The rest is easy. Where are you from? Dronte. All the way from Dronte, and you came especially for this? What? I feel honored. Well, at least Polderbaan, the Spottersplaats is easy to find when you use Google Maps.
Just also the information on the Schiphol.
Yeah.
Get direct link to the parking.
Indeed. And if you know you need to walk down the cycling path to the north, the rest is easy. Nou, hartelijk welkom. So we have another Delta A350 coming this way, Delta Airlines Flight 73, which will be leaving for Atlanta, Georgia. Quite a few other airplanes are following in its wake. Delta Airlines, another Delta, but it's hidden. Yeah, there it is, an A330neo. We have a Dreamliner, and there are several more airplanes coming. And before they all start to take off, I think I am going to invite the elephant back into the room again. It's me, Mike asks, when am I going to stream in 4K? Well, not anytime soon. We'll have to I would have to renew everything almost. Plus I'm not sure that the data bandwidth here in the Netherlands is good enough for a good 4K stream. So no plans for that anytime soon, but hopefully later at some point. This is Delta Airlines Flight 73. And it's going to leave for Atlanta, Georgia. This is the November 509 Delta November. The airplane is 7 years old, first flight March 2018. Another big burst of brake dust upon stopping the wheels from spinning. Hey, Gary Grebe is also here. Awesome. Classical Gary Grebe there. The mother ducker immediately diving under as soon as he spots that the camera is pointed in his direction. He is so shy. Jonah Aviation asks, are you here next Saturday? I will be on EK 146 to Dubai. Don't know yet. Depends on the weather, on the wind, on the weather. It is usually a streaming day for me, but it depends on the wind and the weather in general where I'm going to go to. So whether or not I'm going to be around and if I'm going to be filming departures on that day, I don't know yet in advance. Particularly not since now they also are forecasting a change in weather from Thursday onwards. Alan, good morning. Marcus, goedemorgen. Jeff, good morning, mate. So yeah, Dreamliner coming in and A330neo going out. Nice combo shot there. This one is coming home to Bill J in Seattle, Washington. The November 433 Delta X-ray. That's a brand new airplane. First flight December 2024. Hey there, Elizabeth. Good morning. Bob, good evening. Audrey, good morning. So we have a KLM Dreamliner, a Neorio, A321neo, another A320 family member, and then Air Baltic by the looks of it. Howdy Hans, goedemorgen. Hans Zwanenburg, but tuning in from Bali. Enjoy your stay in Bali, mate. Facilities management, good morning and thank you for the kind words. Willem says, see you in a few minutes. I'm in UX 1098 to Madrid. Absolutely lovely. Aphrodite already declares that Polderbaan is now the only runway for outbound traffic. So if that's the case, they once again started with the runway switch a couple of minutes before schedule. Yesterday they were 10 minutes earlier already with the opening up of runway 36 right as secondary runway for arrivals. So yeah, on paper now for 40 minutes everything outbound will be leaving from this runway. So even though it is on paper a inbound rush hour, an inbound rush hour with 2 runways open for inbound traffic and just 1 for outbound traffic, because everything going out will leave from 1 runway, might get a little more busy. What is it with those coots? What is it with those coots? Gary Grebe is also thinking, what the F are those doing? Mother duckers. Good morning, some Dutch guy. Good morning, German monster. This is EasyJet flight 28677 to London Gatwick. A320neo, the OELSN. This airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in October 2022. Hadi Dick, goedemorgen. Sabira, good morning. Good morning all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are standing here at Polderbaan, runway 36 left. Now, for a brief stint, the only runway for outbound traffic. Wind is blowing from the northwest. And this is KLM flight 1005 to London Heathrow, an A321neo. It is in fact the very first A321neo that was delivered to KLM, the PH-AXA. Brand new airplane, got delivered in July last year. What should be a name for the cycling path? Boys stream lane, boys bike lane, boys fan zone. I do like the sound of boys bike lane. I have to agree with Han there. No, with Frank there. Boys stream lane doesn't sound as nice as bike lane. Boys bike lane. Boys BS. No, that's not. That's what I'm uttering. Big picture overview. The wind coming from over there and more openness seems to be coming my way. Looking to the west directly, things look like that. Looking to the north directly, things look like that. This is the northeast with a pause at the scale of chimney smoke. Things look like so to the east. And looking to the south, this is now what it looks like, and this is the southwest. So yeah, things vary a little bit. Brief moments of sunshine in between periods of almost complete overcast conditions. Look away if you are gluten intolerant. This next airplane is probably going to give you the cramps. This is EasyJet flight 22516 going to Celiac City. And this is not Jesus but Gezax. Gezax. Howdy Joko, goedemorgen. Daniel R.A., good morning. Next airplane taking off is going to Copenhagen. SAS flight 552, A320neo, and this is the SEDOZ. S-E-D-O-Z. SEDOZ. Isn't that what old computers used to say? C, DOS, and then you had to type something. Alex Lightfoot, good morning. Another Bombardier C-Series 300. This is Air Baltic to Riga, flight 618, Yankee Lima, Alpha Bravo, Quebec. The airplane a year old, first flight August 2023. Delta A330neo in the background. Going to Salt Lake City. SAS to Stockholm, A320neo. And third was Bulgaria with another A220 to Sofia. CDOS better than DDoS, Richard says. I would have to agree with you there, mate. This is Delta Airlines flight 57 going to Salt Lake City. Oh, splashy going on here. This is an A330neo. What? Okay. Some suspicious splashy taking place here, but I cannot see anything, just hear and see the ripples. I hear the splashes and I see the ripples. This is Delta Airlines Flight 57, the November 428 Delta X-Ray. Brand new airplane, meaning less than a year old. It will turn 1 next month. The first flight was in June 2024. So yeah, the sun once again in a open bit of sky. The wind is coming from the northwest, so it looks like the sun, which just has begun to shine here, is going to stay around for a couple of minutes before more clouds will interfere and things will turn a bit more gray again. This is SAS flight 556 going to Stockholm, the Sea Docks. 8 years old, first flight February 2017. This is an A320neo. Aviations by Jensen, good morning. He says that the A340-600 is on the move. 11:08, so again delayed. But it should be coming this way if all is well. Katie also back in the chat. Good to see you, Katie. Welcome back. And welcome to all other viewers who might have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at Polderbound, runway 36 left, where departures to the north take place. And this is Bulgaria flight 462 to Sofia in Bulgaria. The LZ LON Lima Oscar November. A year old airplane. First flight was in July 2023, so it's almost turning 2. Yeah, that's Daisy Duck here. Was it you who was splishy splashy just now over here? I'm also listening and hearing the sound of traffic overhead, but looking around me, no controls to be seen. At least not yet. Hadi Tom, goedemorgen. Remco, goedemorgen. This is KLM flight 1219, which will be leaving for Stockholm. 737-800. 17-year-old airplane. First flight was in February 2008. German Monster says, was a WestJet to Rome that I was hearing. Thanks for looking that up. And it looks like the Suriname is moving, QJ says. That's good news. Right, time for something more classic. This is United Flight 21 to Houston in Texas, and this is a 767-300ER. Registration is November 642 Uniform Alpha, and this airplane is already 34 years old, ladies and gentlemen. The first flight of this airplane was in April 1991. I still had a couple of years of elementary school left to do. What were you guys doing back in April 1991? I think I was in the 5th grade, still 3 more years to go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Stranger was losing a lunchbox every week. Jay was in 2nd or 3rd year of college. Bear with me, was in military service. Interesting, interesting. Nice to see what you guys were doing back in 91. Big variety of ages of viewers. Although the statistics do say that the vast majority of you is older than me. I'm now 42. A lot of 45 plus viewers in the audience. I think 2/3, if not more. Sometimes people think YouTube is for young people. Not this channel. This is geriatric TV. Air Europa will be leaving for Madrid. It's a 7878 Dreamliner, the UX1098. And Positive says that the Singapore Airlines A350 is also on its way to 36 left. That's good news. Jessica, goedemorgen, good morning. You have a nice day too. Pierre just finished his military service. Katie says in April 1991, I was just beginning to grow from an egg and a tadpole, she thinks. This is the Echo Charlie Mike India Hotel. leaving for Madrid. Eight-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Richard was burnt out because he still had to work for 30 more years. Fossi says, I was 15 years old and doing my first vodka experiences. Good memories, or maybe no memories. AMS Live Max, indeed, Paul. I should post a screenshot of the demographics. The number of 45-year-olds to 55-year-olds and 55 to 65 and 65 plus together form like 2/3 of the entire audience. People my age or younger are forming the minority and have been all throughout AMS Live's lifespan thus far. The A350, Singapore Airlines, the thumbnail actually coming true. Vliegtuigspotters Nederland, goedemorgen. Hoe verdien ik mod? Well, you don't. If you don't know how to construct sentences properly. If I need moderators, I will ask around. Right now, we have more than enough as it is. Embraer 175. And I also heard Kermit once again. Yeah, indeed, Frank, you can be a nut mod. Stranger says we have an A350 going to Singapore, which is near the equator, which sounds like That's a good one. That's a good one. And then he says, hoe krijg je mod? Dat moet ver gaan bij boy. No, I'm highly flammable. I can get annoyed very easily. I have so many people that are in my allergy. I'm constantly containing myself. Sometimes I feel like I am more like somebody with borderline who has to control his emotions. Anyway, this is Singapore Airlines and flight radar is not loading. I know it's flight 323 to Singapore. It's an A350-900. Now, unfortunately, on my phone, flight radar is temporarily freezing, means that the details aren't loading and I'm unable to give you the details, such as the age of this airplane. Yeah, that's... My flight radar is freezing, so what I'm going to do now is disable split screen, close it, and open it up again. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Does it work? It doesn't seem to have worked. Interesting, I had the same problem, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. My chat is continuously updating, so it's not my internet connection. I'm constantly seeing new messages appear in my live chat window on my phone, so that is working. It must be flight radar itself that is now not updating anything. Is that just me, or are you guys also experiencing something similar? Mrs. Professor signing off. Thank you for joining, Mrs. Professor. Sleep well. Hope to see you again later. Doopman says flight radar is working here. Amsterdam is underway. Agar says also Agar is also having issues. So yeah, over here my flight radar isn't load. It just does that circle. That says that the loading circle. Let's close it again. Open it up again. My internet connection is working because my live chat is constantly updating with messages. So it's not the internet connection. It's just flight radar being unable to connect to the server apparently. Let me see if my computer has the same issue or if it is just related to my phone right now. The phone app, the Android app. Loading flight radar on my computer. Nothing is loading. Yeah, also the same issue on my laptop. The map is loading, the airplanes aren't loading. That's weird. There's the A340 coming this way. So I'm still having no flight radar here. The map is showing, but no airplanes on it. And I also have the same issue with my laptop. Ja, dat ben ik. So now I'm also not having updates on my phone. That's weird. Let's see if I can disable Wi-Fi and re-enable it. No internet connection. Hey, that's weird. So yeah, my phone, my live chat is continuously updating with messages. No issues here. And I'm now getting an update. Flight radar server not responding, unable to connect to server. See the latest update. What, is there a new version? Try again. This is weird. Right, so the A340 is coming this way, and I'm still having issues with flight radar. Now there's a big red square that says flight radar server not responding, unable to connect to the server. Then I can press try again. Nu even niet, ik ben even bezig als je het niet erg vindt. So you guys are having no issues with flight radar, right? Let me see. While we still have a few moments, let me see if maybe I can see if there's an update. Look for flight radar. Yeah, it's installed. Checking updates. All apps are up to date, it says. So there is no updated version of Flight Radar that I can download. The only thing I can do is press try again to see if maybe now my app can connect to the... Right, well, the A340 in the meantime is continuing to the runway threshold. I hope I can get Flight Radar back working again before that. Let's open it up again. Still having issues here. It's not the internet connection because the live chat continuously updates. Right, well, Flight Radar will have to come back then on its own. That means I'm unable to give you any details. No, also my live chat window is not working properly. Right. Also have to reboot the chat window. Let's go and have a look at this airplane first. Think you guys were mentioning it is Sky... Yeah, it is Sky Express taking Cheater's Lane here. Right, over here we have the A340-600. Let's see, let's also try to reconnect to the Wi-Fi. See if I can open up the chat window once again. Right, an A340-600 is moving. On its way to Paramaribo in Suriname, the A340-600. Gear retraction painstakingly slow, but there you go, it's airborne, it's climbing. Now my browser says no internet connection, even though the chat is updating continuously, so I have no idea why it thinks there is no connection. Chat window is continuously updating. And flight radar isn't showing me anything. It still is giving me the loading circle. Even though I do have internet working on my phone. See that Stacy is also back in the chat. Good afternoon, Stacy. And there's a Delta underway. Right now, no airplanes at the threshold. Stranger says maybe the server thinks you're a bot. You need to refresh IP address. And how do you do that? Peter says low battery. How on earth is that going to affect my data connection? So yeah, I'm running without flight radar. The map is loading, but the airplanes aren't for some reason. I do have internet connection, even though my browser says no internet connection. And now we have, finally, once again, we have ducking, ducking internet connection. Frank says, I bet the guy on the scooter will send a dislike. Yeah, well, sorry, but if you are going to ask me, if you can ask me for, a question, and I'm troubleshooting here because I have no bleeping flight radar, I will tell you that I'm busy. If that's a problem for you, then screw you. I understand why the guy went away if he wanted to ask me something, and I'm continuously busy, but I wasn't having any flight radar here, and that's pretty damn crucial for me to do the stream the way I do it. I didn't do anything. The airplanes came back spontaneously. I'm not sure what is happening here. You guys aren't experiencing any buffering, are you? It doesn't look like it, so I'm not sure what is going on, because the internet connection seems to be working properly. The connection quality, according to YouTube Studio, is excellent, so it shouldn't be an issue in the internet. I'm not sure. Yeah, it says here excellent connection, so the stream is uploading via an excellent connection according to YouTube itself. There you go. No buffering, so yeah, the internet. And now once again, fucking hell. Once again, I'm getting that red pop-up, flight radar server not responding, unable to connect to the server. Yeah, now it's gone again, and the airplanes are still, yeah, no issues again on flight radar. So this is Delta Airlines flight 49 to New York JFK, JetBlue going to Boston behind it. Another 767 from United is also coming. That should be this airplane right there with the big winglets. A330 200 KLM flight 535 to Kigali behind it. Right, this is Delta Airlines flight 49 going to New York JFK, A330 Neo. Hadi Marissa, goedemorgen. Aviation Dallas says it's cold in Melbourne. It's going to be 3 degrees tonight. Winter is coming, my friend. Winter is coming. Barbara is also in the chat. She mentions no buffering at all. That is good news. Yeah, my flight radar once again is acting up. So for a brief moment I was able to see the airplanes. Now I'm trying to load the details of Delta Airlines flight 49. It's going to New York JFK. A330neo. Not much more that I can say about it. Hadi Roy, goedemorgen. Right, so Delta Airlines Flight 49, A330neo going to New York JFK. That is all I can say. Struggling to connect to the flight radar server. Even though the live chat is just continuously updating and I have a working stream without significant buffering, so my internet should be okay. I don't know why I'm unable to connect to the... Oh, now it's back again. It spontaneously dissolves again, the issue. Donald and Daisy are here. Hey. That's interesting. Russell also over there. Did Donald and Daisy make him curious? And is he now wondering what's to get here? Interesting. This is JetBlue, flight 32 to Boston, Massachusetts, A321neo. 2-year-old airplane, first flight May 2023. The November 4074 Juliet. After this, the second 767-300 from United, which will be leaving for Washington. In the meantime, a very good morning to all who have joined. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy, and this is the Polderbaan runway 36 left. Still, for a few more minutes, the only runway for outbound traffic, although pretty soon parallel departures with the reopening of 36 Center are going to resume. Usually from 11:40 until 1 p.m. and then between 1 and 2, once again an inbound rush hour with 2 runways for inbound traffic and just this one runway open for outbound traffic. So even though technically speaking it is an inbound rush hour between 1 and 2, all outbound traffic will once again leave from this runway, just like it did for the previous 40 or so minutes. It's a mixed bag in terms of weather today. We began with overcast conditions and now you can see that there are some blue spots in the sky here and there, some blue bits. The wind is blowing from the northwest with variation between the west and the north. Right now over here, a big chunk of blue. This is looking to the west and you can see more clouds further to the horizon. Further to the northern horizon you can see the same, more cloudiness. Looking land inward to the east, even more cloudiness. And looking to the south, also a bit of a mixed bag with more cloudiness towards the horizon. Another airplane is leaving. Hey there, John Dutch Canadian. Good morning. Good to see you again, mate. And this is Lufty. My flight radar once again is giving me an error. Flight radar server not responding, unable to connect the server. In the meantime, the live chat is continuously updating, so it's not my internet connection. We have a 767 once again here, United. I think, if I recall correctly, it was going to fly to Washington, D.C. Don't know the age of the airplane, but it is probably a bit older than the Dreamliners are. Elamine, good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Chris, good morning. Tuning in from Harrison in UK. Welcome to the show, mate. Don Viejos, good morning. So I'm struggling with my connection to the server of Flight Radar. Means I'm now unable to give you details about this airplane. Hadi Leen, goedemorgen. Bas, goedemorgen. This is KLM flight 535 to Kigali. I know that because my freeze frame still indicates the flight number. It's an A330-200. It's going to Kigali, and that is in... Oh man, not even that. It's in... What is going on today? Bastards! The coots once again. Not being nice here. Right. Let's see. This looks like another A330. Is this Turkish? Hard for me to see. This looks like Turkish Airlines. In that case, it is going to Istanbul. Right, doing a stream without flight radar is pretty boring. Not sure how much longer I'm going to continue with this. This is absolutely... I'm fuming here. Don't know why this is happening. The app is up to date, my internet connection is working, the live chat is continuously updating, the live stream isn't buffering, the upload is going well. So I'm not sure why my effing flight radar is unable to find the server. You think restarting the phone might help, Dirk? That could work. That's something worthwhile trying. Let's do that. So I am going to switch off the phone. If that's No, this is... let's see. Come on. How on earth... Right, I've got an S24 Ultra. Why isn't it? I guess I never switched it off and on again. It gives me Gemini when I'm trying to use the on-off switch. If I hold it, Gemini is coming up. Oh. I'm not sure that I know how to restart my phone. It's an S24 Ultra, goddammit. How on earth are you supposed to turn it off again? Yeah, I'm trying to restart my phone, but I'm not sure that I know how to do that. Right, so there's a button in the menu. Thank you, Dukman. Restart. Right. Thought there was an on-off button for that, but apparently when you press it, it opens up Gemini AI. Instead of just giving you the menu where it says, do you want to close the phone? Do you want to restart it? So now it is restarting. Let's see if that works. E2 Umbrella 195. Right, enter PIN code. So the phone is now restarted. And since there are no airplanes immediately in the vicinity, let me give you guys a little music, if that works. In the meantime, let's see. Phone is being started. Right. Let's open up Flight Radar. Yeah, no. Still the same thing. The chart opens, but no airplanes are being loaded. Let's open up the live chat. Yep. For some reason, my browser also says no internet connection, even though the live chat is connecting and is continuously updating. So for some reason, my browser seems to think there's no internet connection, even though the live chat is continuously updating. I see all your messages. They're continuously updating. It's synced with my laptop. Already checked, Ashwin. No apps that... all my apps are up to date according to the App Store. So... I'm not getting it. Right. Patrick says, try to completely shut down the phone for 1 to 2 minutes. Then he says sometimes it is in the cache of the app. That's also something that I can look into. Let's see, going to settings. Then where do I find the app cache? Apps. Right, flight radar. Flight radar 24. Cache. Empty cache. Right, I've cleared the cache of Flight Radar 24. Now let's also close the app. Restart it. Okay, now the chart isn't even loading. This made it worse. What on earth is happening? Right, I cleared the cache and now not even the chart is loading anymore. This is absolutely amazing. Right, so flight radar now even has gotten worse. Now not even the chart is loading. Yeah, only one thing I can do, and that is just to delete the app altogether and get it installed again. Right. Go into the Play Store. Search for flight radar. Oh, it says here installed. Wait, no, I have to get it off my phone first. Remove. Remove this app. OK. Flight radar has been removed. Play Store. Flight radar. Install. Right, I've deleted flight radar. Now in the Play Store, downloading it to install it. In the meantime, Emirates flight 146, I believe, leaving for Dubai. Right, flight radar has been installed. Once again, now it says okay, open on flight radar. Now for some reason it doesn't seem to be loading. Got the flight radar start screen and that is where things end for the time being. Right. Now I've been using my Wi-Fi and that always goes well. Reason being that we found out that there was static on the line when I wasn't using Wi-Fi but my data connection. I can try to see what happens if I do it the other way around and close Wi-Fi and open up my phone 5G data connection. Let's see if that works. Now it does work. So there's something with my internet connection then, my Wi-Fi, for some reason. Now it is opening up. But then we'll probably get static. We had static at times and we found out that that was coming from my phone. So now I do have Flight Radar enabled, and then I can load in my subscription again. But you will probably get static then. First, let's see. Well, I should be back again in Flight Radar. Now I don't have any settings enabled, or oh yeah, wait, I can re-enable all my loaded settings. Just not seeing any labels now. Okay, so that's not an improvement, but I do have Flight Radar working again. Just using the data connection of my phone instead of Wi-Fi, so I hope this doesn't introduce any static, because that I think was the cause of the occasional static that I think it was last year after I just got my new phone. We experienced this. Right. Now, annoyingly, my settings with all the labels has been deleted. Yeah, getting that re-enabled again, probably a bit of a chore. Right. Let's see. This is KLM flight 691 going to Toronto in Canada. A330-300, the PH, aka as in how's your motherfucker. This airplane is 13 years old. First flight was in February 2012. Right, let's see if I can also quickly get the labels that I had back in. Let's see, that is going into settings. Was it visibility? No. Miscellaneous. I think it was miscellaneous. Oh wait, no, it was map, right? Oh yeah, text labels. Let's see, I had call sign, I had route, I had airplane type, and probably flight number enabled. Huh? Did I forget to press save? Let's try that again. Call sign, flight number. Oh yeah, I forgot to press OK. Aircraft type, route. That's the 4 labels I think I had on them. Yes, that looks familiar. That's good. Re-enable split screen. Okay, so I have a working configuration again. Hope you guys aren't experiencing any severe static. So for some reason, Flight Radar was unable to connect to the server via my wireless router. I switched off Wi-Fi on my phone and now am using my 5G data connection, and immediately it reconnected. Unfortunately, by then I had already deleted Flight Radar from my phone and also cleared the cache. So I had to re-enable all the filters and the labels that I was also using. Everything is working a-okay again. All the while, even when I was on my wireless router through which I also upload, my live chat was continuously updating. So there was no internet connection problem per se by the looks of it, but for some reason my phone was unable to connect to Flight Radar. If this works without introducing any static, I might resort to using this again, but I remember back last year when there was another runway closed and I was doing a couple of streams at 18, the threshold of 18 left, we had severe static on occasions, and it turned out that that came from having Wi-Fi turned on my phone, and it was the phone was continuously looking for a signal. If you guys are hearing static in the audio, please let me know. I need to know stuff like this, because if it is, then I need to troubleshoot the Wi-Fi issue further. If it doesn't introduce any static, then yeah, if it then broke, don't fix it. I mean, I can also connect via the 5G of my phone. But I refrained from doing that since I found out that back then the static seemed to have been introduced by my 5G. It was 5G. When on occasion I wasn't able to connect to Wi-Fi, then my phone would start looking for a connection or something. No static. Cool. Howdy Marcel, goedemiddag. Aviation Master, good morning. If you join us in the last 10 minutes, you might be thinking, what the F is going on here? IT issues. If all is well, things are in working order again. Mike is in all the way in the USA and the signal is good. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Let me know the moment you guys are starting to hear any static in the line. Also in Newcastle, everything okay. Thank you, David. Thanks, Chris, who also says no static. Audio is perfect, Dirk says. Well, thanks for the feedback, guys. As soon as you do start to hear static, let me know. So yeah, I'm using my phone for Flight Radar and for the live chat in a browser, and now I'm connecting through 5G, just the SIM card that is in my phone. I am uploading through a wireless router in which I also have a SIM card. And before the issues arose, I was also connecting my phone through that Wi-Fi. Now the Wi-Fi is used purely for my laptop to upload the live stream with, and Flight Radar and all the stuff on my phone is now going through my 5G on my phone. Cargolux popped up on Flight Radar, going to Luxembourg, assigned to center. Yeah, I already saw that, Marissa. There were 2 expected, also one I think in the beginning of the afternoon. Both going to Luxembourg, both Cargolux. And sadly, both are expected to take the center runway to leave for Luxembourg, but You guys know by now that from this vantage point you can also see things departing from center quite well. A big picture overview looking in the sky. We once again have a classical division between the east, cloudy inland, and the west, more open towards the sea. This is looking to the north and to the west. More cloudy land inwards to the east. And this is looking to the south, where United Flight 908 is now spooling up, leaving for Chicago O'Hare. It's a 7878 Dreamliner. And this is the November 26902, 12-year-old airplane, first flight November 2012. Hey there, R, and all the others who have joined in the meantime. Indeed, Frank. Internet was letting me down for a moment. Now that is no longer an issue. Now I hope the audio is not going to let us down. In the meantime, also a massive big thank you to Dirk on Tour, another member who has turned green. 12 months of membership, that escalated quickly, he says. Already 12 months. Mate, thank you so much, Dirk, for your continued support. You've turned green, that makes Greenpeace very happy, and me too. I hope that everything is still to your liking in the lounge. And do let me know if something is no longer to your liking. If we're running low on supplies, let me know, and then we'll see if I can resupply stat. A massive big thank you for your support, Dirk, and I hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor. Gremlins found the way overseas again. Well, as long as the gremlins now stay away. This is BA Flight 431 to London Heathrow. And this is an A320. What else is in the pipeline? An Embraer 175 leaving for Oslo is already coming this way. Barely visible, but there it is. KLM E2 Embraer 195 to Aberdeen is also coming this way. Also another wide body from American Airlines, flight 221 to Dallas is coming. The reflections are getting a bit worse, so I am now going to put the sun hood over my video camera screen. Reduces the reflections significantly. Gary in Amsterdam, must have missed your arrival. Must have happened when I was having technical problems. Welcome back, mate. Good to see you again. Patrick, goedemiddag. Hey there, Reina. Good morning for you. Tuning in from Texas, where it is still early. How many hours is the time difference between Texas and Central Europe? This is Central European time, right? Yeah, CET. Probably 8 hours or so? 7 or 8, I think. Over here it is 12:09. And you can see that the radome on the main tower has been replaced. From a dimpled golf ball now to a smooth golf ball. The Embraer 175 is taxiing all the way to the threshold. Gives me a brief moment to go over back to the computer. Massively thank Dirk on tour, who not only just now celebrated a year of membership, but he also went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. You really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for doing it anyway. A warm welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Dirk if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships just now. You have 32 custom emojis at your disposal for a month as a gifted member. Spamming is not allowed, but using custom emojis as much as you please is definitely stimulated. Don't feel free to do so. Also use the custom emojis the most inappropriate way you see fit. I challenge you all to get creative. Dirk, thank you so much for your generosity and welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Eight or 9 hours of time difference, Reina says. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Probably 8 or 7. Because I think we have a 9-hour time difference with the West Coast. Over here it is now just 10 minutes past noon. So it's probably 10 past 3. No, 10 past 4. Or 5. And indeed, Leon, they had to abandon the hoisting yesterday of the dome because of the severity of the wind. Today, the wind is a bit calmer. Let's have a look. This is the scale of chimney smoke. Let's also have a quick look on the weather, the METAR. Let's renew it because it has been in the ticker now for a while and it is outdated. 13 degrees it was, and a refresh, if we are going to see it. No internet issues now on my laptop as well. Come on. Don't tell me we are now. Meet our Taff, what are you doing? Right, so I guess it's not working. Let's see if I can renew that page. Seems to be stuck. Hope that the stream isn't buffering in the meantime. Right, my METAR website isn't reloading. I hope that the stream is not buffering in the meantime. The stream itself is good. I have absolutely no idea what is going on here. Unfortunately, I cannot switch off my wireless router and then switch it on again, because then we'll lose the signal and the stream is terminated. Here we have an E2 Embraer 195. No buffering, okay, so everything is working. It's just that my browser isn't renewing the METAR page. Let's see if we can get that working again. Maybe close Safari altogether and open it up again. No, nothing on my browser. Nothing on my browser. No pages at all. That is so weird. Is the stream still working on your end? That's what concerns me the most, that for some reason my internet isn't working. All is good. Okay, stream is fine. No idea what is going on here. So my internet connection is working. I'm uploading through my laptop, but apparently loading Meetup pages and everything is working. I'm now not even able to load any pages in my browser after closing down the browser. This is terrible. I don't know what's going on here because nothing has changed. I haven't switched to new hardware. I'm not using any new wires or anything. Everything I have been using for ages now, just connected in the same way as it always is. And for some reason everything is hiccupping up. Right, well, at least my flight radar is working. This is KLM flight 1337 going to Wrocław or something. Probably mispronouncing that name still. 7-year-old airplane, first flight June 2017. So, cargo lock 747, where is it? In the meantime, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 airplanes at least coming this way already as we speak. That's including this one. This is American Airlines flight 221 to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. It is a 787-8 Dreamliner, 9 years old, first flight October 2015, the November 811 Alpha Bravo. Have a look at those wingtips and see how as the airplane gains more momentum and more speed, the wingtips rise, rise, rise. And then upon rotation, more curvature, the end shape, the flex. I'm also hearing something with a propeller, which seems to be passing overhead. 747 still needs to cross the Kaapgaan. Thank you, Duns. I'm looking up. There's blue sky above me. I think if I know where I need to look. There's no contrail being produced by the propeller-engined airplane. I'm looking in a bit of sky where I think the sound is emanating from. Of course, I need to look more wider because of the duration it takes for the sound to travel from up there to down here. Unable to see anything. You need to be lucky when the airplanes aren't producing a contrail. Almost impossible to see. Now over here we have KLM flight 1167, which will be leaving for Bergen, which I think is in Norway and not in North Holland. This is a 737-700, 15 years old already, first flight November 2009. Registration is the Papa Hotel, Bravo Golf Hotel. KVK Air Antonov AN12BK was flying over, Steven says. Steven, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Aurora, hi, and welcome back, everybody. Kat, also, good afternoon. Welcome to the show, everybody. Right, so, interesting day here, but more interesting than I had hoped it would be. Howdy Blokkie Games, goedemiddag. Hey there, Jake's planespotting. This is a KLM 737-700 to Bergen. KLM flight 927 to Edinburgh is now lined up. 737-800. Quickly going back to my computer to see if I can restart the Meet Our TAF website. Doesn't seem to be working. Now I'm curious, this is Safari. Will I have more success when using Chrome? Right. Google is working on Chrome. Then when clicking on the URL of Meet Our TAF, Chrome 2 is now struggling to load the page. This is utterly insane. So Google is working, but then it doesn't click through to Meet Our TAF. This is insane. The site can't be reached. So although Google is working on Chrome, meetourtaf.com, I'm unable to load lvnl.nl, also not working. Google is working. Nah, it doesn't seem to be working. Nah, so it's not a browser specific issue. This is so interesting. Meanwhile, it's raining dislikes. 7 dislikes. Can we reach 10? Absolutely amazing. Come on guys, more dislikes. This is incredible. I'm sure we can reach more. Let's go for 25. Right, Don says the issue you are having is with the modem, not the browser. Well, the modem I'm unable to reboot. Can't do that. That means the end of the stream. So I'll just have to live with it. Any idea what might be wrong with the modem then, Duns? Network issue is the it's the DNS server configured in your router. I have absolutely no idea what that means. I don't know anything about computers, so don't know what that means. Speak Dutch with me or English. TUI flight 757 going to Punta Cana, the PHTFK 7878 Dreamliner, 10 years old, first flight May 2014. Right, so you guys seem to know what is the problem, and the only thing I know is that I have to live with it. Let's see. I read dynamics says translation already done. Nothing wrong. Every new website has to. Okay. Right. Well, we'll see next week then. QJ says Cathay Pacific A350 1000 on the move. Undoubtedly going to the centered runway, isn't it? Let me know when it lines up. We should be able to see it. This is KLM flight 1305 to Gdansk. This is the PH EXM, 8 years old, first flight February 2017. Let's see, another Embraer 175 to Stavanger after that. Cargo Lux, second for departure on center. Thanks, Marissa. Michael DCA also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Bird control is also over there. Going to the bridge or what? Doesn't look like it. Hey, it's K3 for free, Marissa. No need to buy tickets. You can see K3 right here. One cheater before Cargo Lux. Cargo Lux is lining up. Thanks, Duns. So that should be leaving pretty soon. Let's also have a look on it. Right, there is a cheater indeed. This is quite annoying. Ever since I reinstalled Flight Radar, now it continuously gives me blue suggestions. Have a look at this, have a look at this. Hopefully that is only in the first use. Alright, Embraer 190 to Zurich is now leaving. We're now waiting for Cargo Lux's departure to Luxembourg. Cargo Lux flight 2616, a 747-400. Oh my. Oh wait, there it is. Cargo Lux is now moving. Here we go. There she is. Already climbing out. Cargo Lux to Luxembourg. 747-400. Lima X-ray Yankee Charlie Victor. This particular airplane is 16 years old. First flight July 2008. And the cat is tuning in from Kuala Lumpur. Nice. I'm expecting it is pretty warm over there. The Queen is queening indeed. There it was. Next airplane taking off over here is KLM flight 1233 going to Göteborg. Embraer 190, 15 years old, first flight January 2010. Oof, 36C, says the cat. That's pretty warm. Bit warmer than it is over here, although with the sun now shining, it is starting to warm up here. Adi Suzanne, goedemiddag. Ja, middag. Right. We'll have to wait for a few more moments before the next departures are coming. It does look like Finnair to Helsinki is also underway. Gives me a moment to scroll up. And first of all, massively thank Peter K for his 19-month celebration of membership. Oh my god, already 19 months, he writes. Mate, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope that everything is still to your liking in the lounge. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but do let me know if something is amiss, if something can be improved. Mate, thank you so much for your continued support, and also a big thank you for your gifted membership just now. Peter K. Plains just now gifting a membership, and I see that Andrew was the recipient. Welcome back to the Sky Lounge, Andrew. Don't forget to say thank you to Peter and enjoy your custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Also, members, don't forget to vote, like Maria is already repeating. There's a custom emoji election going on, running until this Thursday. Two competitors, two contenders, firefighters and the Lufti are battling it out. I see that we are at 549 likes and at only 13 dislikes. Let's get it to 25, guys. Show some support. Han has to go. Thank you for joining, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again on Thursday. Full as well. Let's see. Yesterday when oh no shit, I'm trying to open up the weather report, but that is something I'm unable to share. The screen is now just only showing a blank screen. It was said yesterday on the weather report that the weather in the Netherlands is going to deteriorate as of Thursday. Not only is it going to get a bit cooler, but we are also going to see maybe a possibility of precipitation. About damn time though. Everything is okay, Peter K says. Well, do let me know as soon as something is amiss. Frank says your waiting music can be improved. What do you suggest, mate? Bear in mind, it has to be rights free. What a lovely duck. Adi says, go for Lufty, we already have a great emoji for the firefighters. Right, once again, the sun is now hidden from our view. Cloud is drifting in. Looking in the direction the wind is blowing from the northwest, it's looking pretty open, although there are still sizable clouds here and there in the at the horizon and all around me. This is the wind on the scale of chimney smoke right now. Some annoying music from James Last perhaps, but isn't that also copyright protected? Even though James Last may have some quote-unquote annoying music, I think it is still protected by copyright. That makes it a bit hard to use. Sipping on some vodka while KM Malta was passing by in the background. Let's see, what is in the pipeline? 2 Embraer 190s to Aalborg and Billund respectively. Air Canada is coming. Play is also on the move, as is Finnair. And I think Finnair is going to take off from this runway. James loves this. Did covers himself. Probably paid for the copyrights of the songs that he copied himself. Peter K. Indeed, Aegean is a Greek airline. That is correct. Hey there, Kjell. Good afternoon. QJ says Finnair has a weird movement. First to the end of 36C and then move back up on the other side to the other side of the runway. Yeah, that is what they are doing when the center runway is also in use for departures. It is a Sunday. It is a relatively decent weather day, and you can see it is teeming with people at the Spottersplatz itself. That's almost always the case here. Transavia. And Cathay second to depart from 36 Center. Dirk is leaving. Thank you for joining us here, Dirk. See you later. Right. Are we back again? Or what? Right, we are back. That was sick, but I guess nobody saw it. Right, so you guys are still having issues seeing and hearing everything. In that case, it's just time to wrap up and I'll be back hopefully next week with a proper connection. If this is working like shit, there's no point in continuing. This is not the standard I wish to deliver. So it's time to wrap up. It was a shit stream to begin with. I'll be back hopefully on Thursday with good weather and hopefully with good proper internet connection. See you soon. Bye for now and apologies for the inconvenience. See you later, guys.